Hello and welcome to this lovely round of Durand Talks because the 130th edition of the Durand Cup is just kick-starting within a week's time. And again, it's being held in the city of the football, the city of joy, as we call it, in Kolkata. And 16 teams, four groups, and of course, only two finalists and one take the trophy. And again, it's something unique because the winner takes three trophies. The Cape one and the other two are the rolling trophies. And again, as you all know, the Durand Cup is organized by the Indian Armed Forces, and this time they are being helped by the government of West Bengal. This tournament is unique. It is the oldest in Asia, and of course, the third oldest of the existing tournaments, which started with the professional players, just with only about the FA Cup and the Scottish Cup in front of it, 1888. So it had, previously two venues. It started from Shimla, had almost a permanent base in Delhi, and now the thing has come to the City of Joy. And today, we are going to talk about a side which is going to excite all of us in the Group A. And that is, of course, the Bengaluru United FC. They are having great dreams to blast the Durand Cup. And we have their coach, Richard Hood. We have their very senior official, Nihal Kulaso. And of course, the one name which has caused storm across the footballing world. We have that namesake with us. Yes, you guessed it right. It's Ronaldo, but again, Ronaldo Oliveira, the one who plays for the Bengaluru United FC. He's got a bit of Portuguese connection. He comes from Goa. So welcome, Richard, to this lovely show.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Nihal, as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
And Ronaldo, we have a lot to hear from you because you had been in this city of joy. You had been with a local big club. So let me just go to Richard first. Coach, sir, tell me, in what are the little memories that you have from your school days and when you were growing up about this great tournament? We don't call it a championship. We call it a legacy. Richard.
I think the history has been around for 130 years now that we've seen it built up with our inclusion. And more than growing up, the early years of coaching, I joined TFA at a very young age. And there was a strong legacy of TFA being represented at that platform there, being a youth team performing well over there. And it was a huge trial platform for all the cadets as well, where they would get games against Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, Mohammedan Sporting, and they would get picked from there. So the seriousness around it, we used to live it in my 3 years at the academy. And then after TFA, I had moved on to Bengaluru FC, where again, it was taken very seriously. You can't ignore the legacy and the list of winners and adding your name to it. I think any club coming into it takes it with a lot of priority. And at least in my coaching career throughout, that has been a very prominent fixture in the Indian calendar.
Yes, you carry a lot of memories of very, very memorable matches as well. And you were in Jamshedpur with the Tata Football Academy. And again, as you know, Jamshedpur is, of course, called a sister city of Kolkata. So much close, sort of a vicinity. So what was your feeling about this city, the city of joy? People say that, you can't excel unless you play in Kolkata.
I think my bias towards Calcutta is quite well known. At least people within the football community, they know that I have a strong, association with the city. I'd grown up only hearing about the Calcutta clubs. If I didn't make it as a player, but yeah, as long as you were trying out in the game, this was a very big sort of platform that people spoke to you about. Like, unless you play in Calcutta, it's tougher to get into a Calcutta club than the national team, and all those myths that had built up around even the Calcutta League being a matter of prestige. Then you have the IFA Shield, and just it being a pure footballing city, especially watching games at the Maidan made a priority if the league was going on, go in and watch the derbies and things. So just, I mean, more than City of Joy, I look at it as City of Football, which I think many of us have a similar view.
Yes, of course. And the city is, Richard, absolutely ready to host you because, as you know, the Indian Armed Forces or the Indian Army is, they organize the Durand Cup, and this is the 130th edition of this tournament. I would go to Nihal. Nihal, when you had a look at the grouping, you were at the Group A, and again, with the Central Reserve Police Force, you have the Indian Armed Force, so two of the army or the paramilitary teams against you, and you have a local big club, Melbourne Sporting, taking on. So, what was your first feeling about the group? Do you feel it was a little difficult?
I think first and foremost, just the fact that as a club we were sort of invited to make our debut appearance in the Durand Cup in itself was a sort of great experience for us. And then, as and when we took the fixtures, we saw the fixtures. Melbourne Sporting, we'd sort of faced them earlier in the I-League qualifiers, so it's good to sort of face them up again. And with Central Reserve Police Force and the Indian Air Force, they are two tough teams. They have played like a certain type of football. So as long as we sort of stick to the style of play that we do, I think it'll be a great set of games in these group stages. So we're excited to see what happens.
Yes, again, because this the army and again the paramilitary side, they are very tenacious. They fight till the last second. You must be aware of that.
So until the final whistle blows, anything could happen. So we have to make sure that we stick to that.
Yes, of course. And again, you have the Black Panthers, as we call them, the Melbourne Sporting Club of Kolkata. They are a local side, local support. So they are also going great guns.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, the fact that they were the ones to qualify from the I-League second division last season itself is a testament to how, the kind of football that they play. So it will be an exciting set of games, from on the 6th onwards.
Now, just quickly tell me, when I name Durand Cup, so what comes into your mind first, Nihal?
I would say, just prestige. Just the fact that it's a 130-year-old, tournament, Asia's oldest football competition. It holds that much value. Just the name in itself has that sort of prestige. So if there's one word, it would be prestige.
So it's a sort of a heritage, and you are a club, in absolutely your teens, just 3 or 4 years into the whole show. I would get on to Ronaldo Oliveira. Ronaldo, you have played in Kolkata with one of the big sides. Would you pass on your experience, your little words to your coach and the support staff about the city?
Yeah, the city is amazing to play among the fans, East Bengal fans. It's very nice. And to play the derby, it's one of the best feeling. Any footballer would love to play the derby. So it's very fantastic. It's good to be back in Kolkata again after the qualifying. So let's see if we can do better.
So you haven't taken part in Durand Cup match before. You had a chance, but it didn't materialize.
Due to my registration, I couldn't.
And were you accustomed to the local food and whatever, because you hail from Goa, but again, you are a sort of a traveler. You travel across the length and breadth of the country. But do you like the Kolkata food?
Yeah, very much.
What's your favorite dish? Can you name it?
Most especially the tea which is eating every day. The tea with that matka thing. It's very nice.
Okay, that's great. I would get on to Richard. I would come back to Ronaldo a little later. Richard, the grouping. You are in the Group A, and again, the top 2 qualify into the quarterfinals. So, what's your step 1? What's your target? The first target?
I think first target is to go after 9 points. We have 3 games to fight out, and Today we complete 8 weeks of training. Today being Saturday, so pre-season is done for us, and we really need to get out there and show what we work towards. And it's a good group in terms of we have the champions of Punjab, champions of Delhi coming in. Mohammedan had a good run in the I League, making to the upper stages of the playoffs. So by and large, it's a good group to sort of target 9 points against, and that's the benchmark that we'll measure ourselves against. Any points that are dropped, then it will sort of give us room for reflection, and everything is being geared towards topping the table and making it to the quarterfinals.
People are talking about you as the most exciting young coach. That puts a lot of pressure on you, Richard.
I think it's a lot to live up to, but again, we lean a lot on the staff that we have. We lean a lot on the players that we have. One is we've created a really good environment in the team. We've created strong processes. The recruitment has been spot on. We have very good people that we work with. So I think all of that may be lending towards the reputation that you've described, but it's again everybody coming in together and contributing towards whatever. And at the end of the day, we remain loyal to the club, we remain loyal to the profession of delivering wins and results. So if I live up to the reputation, then yeah, it's all down to the people who we have around us, and especially the club supporting all of this.
We are in the Durand talks with again the Bengaluru United FC, the one very exciting side from Karnataka, from the capital city of Karnataka, Bengaluru. And again, they come with a baggage of reputation as well, because they are the BDFA Super Division champions, which, Richard, you won it in earlier this year.
Yes, it was a good sort of reinforcement to take forward into something like the Durand. And ever since last season, when we finished up in Calcutta in October, the aim has been to get ourselves to the I League. And Durand coming in, it's another platform that we are very, very serious about. I mean, we're not there to make up numbers or anything of that sort. We are trying to take the championship form into the Durand as well.
Now, tell me one thing. People here back in Kolkata, they understand the game, this beautiful game, and they are eager to know whether you're bringing in your new signings, the Slovenian Luka and the Spaniard Pedro Manzi.
Yeah, they're all in town. They've been training. Luka has been here for 7 weeks. Pedro's been here for 3. They have gelled with the team really well. We have a good cohesive unit. Starting 11 is starting to form quite rapidly, at least amongst the coaching staff and the practice games that we play. So yeah, they will be leading the front line for us. And Calcutta people know their football. There's very little to hide once the game starts. So I guess, yeah, they will be on display.
Yes, of course. Just to remind the viewers that it's a very rich pedigree as well, because Luka had been with the team from Goa in the I-League. He scored 11 goals, 2 assists. He just missed the Golden Boot. And who doesn't know Pedro Manzi, the Spaniard, because he also did extremely well with the Chennai side, winning the Golden Boot with 26 goals. So, Richard, you're ready to blast.
Yeah, and then it's one thing we should remember, the amount of assists that these guys create as well. It's not just, so it's not just about the goals and bits, but the contribution off the ball. These guys are proper team players. They have really good work ethic. So, I mean, front and back, through and fro the pitch, I mean, they will be present. And like I said, we have built a really strong team and a lot of players to support and lead along with them, 2 foreign strikers coming in.
We are taking you through the Durand talks, and we are today with the Bengaluru United FC, one of the very exciting, the budding team with a lot of prospects and young prospects as well. I'll go on to talk to Nihal right now. Nihal, you have retained 13 of the players from your last season. So what was the thought behind that while coming to Kolkata for the Durand, and you're making a debut here in the Durand Cup?
Yeah. So I think just looking at the sort of BDFA Super Division, coming off as champions, having about, 9 wins out of the 11, getting a lot of goals. So the squad, as in consultation with obviously the coaching staff, we started to realize just the types of players who sort of fit in with the system, who genuinely contribute to both the, the environment on the field and off the field. And these 13 names that we've sort of identified are the ones who have that sort of who sort of will be part of that plan, and which is why hence their name was there in the sort of retention list. And just in terms of the sort of experience a few of them bring, the performance during the Super Division also played a big part in that. And yeah, hence those are the reasons as to why they were retained.
So, as the your exciting coach Richard Hood had mentioned that he had a great preseason, because let me tell you, most of the sides, the teams that are coming, the army sides, the paramilitary sides, they're always unknown proposition. You don't know because they have their strategies, and again, it's always behind the eyes and the camera, of course. But again, the other sides, they didn't have much time to have a good pre-season training. So, Nihal, how could you manage that in this difficult global pandemic days? And we are still on with the threat.
Yeah, so I think the most immediate challenge right after the Super Division was the sort of second lockdown that we had in Bangalore, and just sort of having that sort of communication with our existing players, ensuring that they're fit during that sort of period was the initial challenge that we had to work with. But thankfully, with our sort of strength and conditioning coach, Chelston, we were able to sort of be in direct contact with the players, get them on a individual and a group sort of workout plan that they were able to sort of keep their fitness levels going until we were given the go ahead to resume back training. And then once sort of training started, like Coach Richard mentioned, about 7 to 8 weeks of preseason, sort of intensive training on the field, and we try to look at both intra-squad matches as well as sort of with competitive matches with other teams as well, just to sort of make sure that the squad is in at their peak fitness levels.
I would come to my very young friend Ronaldo Oliveira. Ronaldo, possibly it was 2015-16. We took notice of you. That was the under 18 I League, I presume. And we said, wow, this guy can score, and what a name he has. He would make his name as well because he's a Ronaldo. So that is how. And then you carried on the good work with the Goa Professional League as well. So right now, what can we expect? You also going to fire with the Bengaluru United FC? What's your plan? What's your dream right now?
So right now we are focused on Durand Cup. Ahead of us now, the new season of the qualifiers are just a month. Yeah, in September, October it's going to start. So now we are focusing on Durand Cup, and like coach said, we have built a good atmosphere amongst the team. So I'll help the team to take forward in the I League. And now we are focused on the Durand Cup. So let's see what happens in the Durand Cup.
Okay, can I ask you this question? Again, everybody's listening. Are you tournament fit? Your side is tournament fit?
Yes, because we had a really very good preseason. So I think we are much fitter.
And tell me one thing. It's always, as Richard was mentioning, that the guys have, excellently gelled together, as Nihal was also mentioning that. So tell me one thing. How in these pandemic days, during this very difficult COVID situation, how were you in contact with your, the club officials, the coaches, and the fellow players?
Yeah, like Nihal said, our conditioning coach Charleston, he used to send us the
Was it
program, training program.
always on the phone and the
Yeah,
video calls and the on the Skype, on the Zoom?
yeah, sometimes used to send a this thing, a picture and the notes, how to do, what to do, and used to share some videos on the WhatsApp. So we used to follow it and keep ourselves fit. That's the only thing we could do in the lockdown time. So yeah, that's the only thing.
Yes, every citizen has gone through very difficult times, and again, it is not yet over. We are into the Durand talks with a great side, a very young side which dares to dream, Bengaluru United FC. Richard, uh, typical sense of hollow is created when you are in isolation, away from people, quarantined, in the bubble. So you must have realized the condition, the mental status of your players as well.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of interruptions during the season. We had just wrapped up the Bangalore League, trained for about 3-4 weeks, and then we had to disband the team. There was slight reason to consider any sort of outbreak and stuff. So we wanted to be a step ahead of any illnesses. So uh, regrouping, I mean, being together for a month and then disbanding for a couple of months, seeing that things get disrupted, it's never good to have a unplanned break, right? Especially for something that we're building towards, and everybody carries a lot of emotion and energy towards us, especially the players, because we have seen that all the players, many of them have sacrificed a lot in terms of the tears they've come here, given the club and the staff the time, their availability to help us fulfill all our competitive ambitions. So yeah, to keep that motivation going, we had the right people around. I mean, apart from Chelston Gurmangi Singh, who I think, I mean, the name doesn't need any sort of introduction, but he has been in touch with the players, keeping in touch similar ways. I mean, it's not just talking about the fitness and football side of things, but just a quick call to check in on the guys and stuff. I think the management team has been in touch with them, just trying to figure out where exactly they are, if they need any help. So in terms of from the coaching staff as well as management, there has been a good collective effort to keep in touch with the guys and let them know that things are going to start up soon, and we are working towards it. And thankfully, since we've started, it's been 8 smooth weeks following on from that. But yeah, I totally understand the fact about this isolation and being away from your teammates and stuff, because you build this bond really quickly. I think it takes about 3-4 sessions to get to know each other, what sort of environment you're walking into, and then you don't want to leave that, especially for something like this where there's still a big element of unfinished business. So it's been really good that everybody came and fit. All the players, it was very evident that they took advantage of the programs that SNC coach put together, because we started pre-season on a really strong foot, just in terms of the results and the shape that the boys came in, and makes our life as a coaching staff a lot easier when we see that even though they're not with us in contact day to day for a couple of months, they're still gone the extra yard, found the space, whether it was the beach or on top of the terraces or running on the road or playing on basketball courts, whatever it was, they got the job done and came in fit. So big credit to them for not really letting this whole isolation and disbanding get to it, and starting off on a strong foot.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were very meaningful words from the Bengaluru United FC coach, Richard Hood. And again, Durand Cup is organized by the Indian Armed Forces, and this time jointly with the government of West Bengal. Now, tell me one thing, Richard. These days, the modern football and the modern football medicine, because I belong to that faculty as well, the FIFA stipulates is always when you're doing a pre-season, and Durand Cup off late has been a sort of a season opener for most of the Indian sides. So you have to be sort of 120 minutes fit, not only 90 minutes fit. So how have you worked on your endurance?
I think Nihal had mentioned the quantity of practice matches that we had got. So today we played our 9th practice game of the season. We've had positive results in all of them, including the inter-squad games. So if you're talking about the endurance, we have the club has invested in technology in terms of the GPS pods and trying to keep track of the physical output that the players give. And week by week, we understand that, I mean, the conditioning levels of players on a Monday leading into a Saturday, where exactly do we start to lack in things. So, Chelston and Anurag Physio, they are keeping tabs on factors where we start to see players not being able to deliver maybe match day to match day, then we need to make these alterations. I think changes in the rules as well will help a lot, with 5 changes being brought in. And if you're talking about 120 minutes football, I think it's additional substitutions that can be made once the regulation time gets over and we get into the 30 minutes of extra time. So I think even the FIFA rules have adapted themselves to ensure that the entertainment, the intensity of the game, all the factors that keep a team competitive are aligned with making sure that we get, good entertaining football at the end of it. So if you're talking about results, yes, our starting 11 plus 4-5 players are fit. We can guarantee that we will get good 120 minutes of football. Over and above that, we have a group of players who are versatile. Situation demands that we are pushing for a lead or protecting a lead, whatever it may be, or it's a draw at the moment. We have the players to push on and then bring on the changes. So in terms of the squad strength, I think everybody is ready to contribute what the situation will demand, and we have specialists as well as versatile players to come in and do the job for us, working with the whole endurance factor, where we won't see too many tired legs from FCBU.
Yes, what you didn't mention is you're really going to excite us because your brand of football would be very inspiring, motivating, and you would do a great job. Of course, I would come to Nihal. Nihal, I was doing a bit of memory jogging and was traveling down memory lane. Can you believe it? Aside from Karnataka, and that was way back in 1954, the HAL of Bengaluru reached the finals, but somehow they lost it in the finals. So after that, not a single team from Karnataka has reached the finals of the Durand Cup. So can we expect this time for your side to work wonders and have a pole position finish?
Well, first off, we have to give credit to HL Bangalore just in terms of all the sort of success they've had from even the local divisions to the Durand Cup. But adding on to that, as a sort of club, under the guidance of Coach Richard, Coach Mangi, the coaching staff in general, they've set together these particular processes in terms of fitness, endurance levels, just sort of pre-season warm up, lead up to the Durand Cup. So definitely, as as a club, we would expect great results. We're looking forward to these 3 matches, and we take one step at a time. So once the group stages, we can look forward to the quarterfinals, semis, and hopefully we bring some sort of laurel to the state of Karnataka.
Yes, Nihal, I would mention 2 or 3 things. First, you have a great sports enthusiast owner. That's number one. Of course, you are building on the infrastructure, the training facilities, and this is what any international side needs these days in the modern football.
No, fair enough. Credit to our sort of director, Mr. Gaurav Machanda, just in terms of the passion that he has for the sport of football and the processes that they've sort of set up in terms of the infrastructure, the academy, grassroots setup, everything sort of cohesive, working towards building up into generating local talent and youth development in both Bangalore and India. So just even though we're a sort of a 3 to 4 year old club, we have made quite a few strides in just in general in terms of youth development with a couple of our academy prospects being able to play in the first team setup, being loaned out to other clubs. So it's a great sort of team that's working together. We have a sort of lean team which is sort of building on this, and we're looking forward to the next couple of years in terms of making a sort of mark both in Bengaluru football as well as in India as well.
Great, and we all are with you because you have got great aspirations. Ronaldo, again, getting back with a very important tournament like the Durand Cup and such a big stage to perform. Now, you all and all the players must have been very, very excited about it to take part in this tournament.
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
the Durand Cup. It's a very big tournament.
Yeah,
So
so
it's a
what are
very
your
big
plannings
tournament.
like?
Yeah, everyone.
How have you talked with your partners, your friends, your midfield, your defense, your goalkeeper, everybody?
Like the coach mentioned, we have so many practice matches, and like the team is set, the first 11, and everyone is set. So yeah, the team is going on well. So defense, midfield, striker, even the keepers, everyone is together. So yeah, the team looks very strong for me.
Great. We are at almost the end of the show. We had a great session. We had a talk with my friend. He has already become a friend, and of course, we look forward to meet them. Richard Hood, the coach, Nihal Kulaso, the great the ones who work behind the scene, and they're always motivating their players. And we had Ronaldo Oliveira as well. Just a final word, Richard. Kolkata is ready. Your host, the Indian Army or the Indian Armed Forces, is ready. The government of West Bengal helping them. So, just the stage is set. You come and lit up the whole show. Great, good luck for you in this debut tournament for you in the Durand Cup. Richard.
Yes, again, thanks to the Durand Cup organizers, the Indian Armed Forces, the IFA, and the Bengal government. This came in. The news came in about a couple of weeks back, and more so, thank you for your wishes. And I think the agenda is clear with the news. I think it sort of added a new breath of life into our season. It came in unexpected, and just the fact that we get this opportunity to come there, we won't disappoint. And every 3 points, you will see us fighting for it.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great session of Durand Talks with Bengaluru United FC, the ones who are in the Group A, and the 130th edition of the Durand Cup kickstarts from 5th of September. It goes on till 3rd of October. So it's going to be a very exciting session. Stay tuned, and thank you all, Richard, Nihal, Ronaldo. Keep well, keep going. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you for having us. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.